we already have flash flood warning this morning as these showers have been going over the same area at least for the last hour, if not longer than that. And you can see the trail of a few showers back into Louisiana. But the bulk of the nasty weather is about to move into Florida. And by the way, should be along really I-10 to I-20 as we head through the day. Very strong winds. If you live in Cedar Key all the way down to Spring Hill, this is going to slam into you. And we have some timing for you to show you that if you are in Horseshoe Beach, 8:10, Cedar Key, 8:21, all the way down to Northdale, it will get into you at 9:16 and make its way to the I-75 corridor. We could see some of it as well. Otherwise, these are your kind of run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, with the exception of what we're seeing into Brookhaven, just north of Brookhaven, in between Brookhaven and Jackson, right over I-55. Blinding rain coming in here. And we do have flash flood warning for us. That means flash flooding is imminent or it's occurring. And then we have a stronger thunderstorm still into Texas. We are not finished with it in Texas, as Jim was kind of mentioning. We still could have some rain and some gusty winds coming through, but that thing's gnarly. Might have a little hail on it. Yesterday, we had hail 3 inches in diameter. That's the size of a large apple. So there's your hail, 2.3 inches. That is bigger than a golf ball, bigger than a lime, bigger than an egg for us. That could be coming down, doing some damage, and a lot of rain over the past 24 hours. We're going to add to this with more showers coming through today with this kind of elongated piece of energy over this area. Notice the flood reports from New Orleans all the way back to west of Dallas. And we still have the flood watches posted from Texas on into Alabama, even into Florida. We do have a boundary, and that's one of the things. These storms are riding right along. You can see this batch of weather that's been riding along that boundary. And we will see this all pull northbound as we head through the day. And this is the energy kind of strung out, a little bit of a better spin as you look back towards Texas. But it's not super well defined, as you can see, and that doesn't matter because you've got the energy there. You've got low-level winds. Look where you have storms, where those winds are punching into the picture. And then also those upper-level winds, and notice where you have the worst weather, where the two of those winds are coming together. That's where we have some of those stronger thunderstorms. Flooding is certainly something we could get from Louisiana over to Alabama, along with not only those gusty winds, but we cannot rule out a tornado. It's a 3 on our tornado condition index, which means a couple tornadoes are possible. And look what we had yesterday. Even if you didn't have a tornado, we had significant wind damage. We could see a repeat of that today throughout Alabama, into Georgia as well, Florida. And notice that we are still seeing some showers here into Louisiana and Mississippi. And it doesn't stop on Friday. That's where Felicia picks up the story as we head into our Saturday.
You can see it there, Steph, even heading.
Okay, to the north, we are also going to see some weather out of this thing. It's not just going to be here into the south. We will get rain. We will get a few thunderstorms, some of them a little more potent than others. But I think the most severe weather will be to the south, where we have all that wind energy coming in. Now, I'll tell you what, here into the northeast, we got poured on as our low pressure was just dumping rain. You can still see there is that little, counterclockwise flow bringing some moisture here into parts of New England, but we had huge rainfall totals, especially into Rhode Island and Massachusetts. That's where we had flood reports, numerous flood reports here, and we had 5, even 6.5 inches of rain in some spots. That's obviously too much in a short amount of time. So that system's starting to exit, and then we have our next system. Here's the vorticity with it. Kind of hard to see. Trust me on it. We've got it, and then there's more vorticity back as we head west. But this is going to be going through the northern tier, and that means that it's going to kick off some showers and storms at the surface. Cold front, warm front, and within that warm sector, that's where you're going to have a lot of moisture pulled up. That's where you're going to have the instability, and usually you're going to have the worst weather, which is what we're seeing right now. Carbondale is just clouds for us. Paducah on and off rain. Rain is coming from the south here, from Union City up towards Paducah. I-55, 24. A lot of areas seeing 2 to 3 inches in a very short amount of time. And so you could have some localized flooding with these storms. But the northern extent of this is kind of just a dreary, kind of day for us. We got the rain, the clouds. Temperatures stay on the cooler side with the rain and the clouds, but this is all going to progress into the northeast for our Saturday morning. Again, not a total washout, but not a great way to start the weekend. Felicia, I think this will all be localized flooding, not super widespread.
Yeah, enough that you want to keep an eye on.
Welcome back to America's Morning Headquarters. Violent storms hammer Texas to Louisiana. People are being told to stay out of downtown Houston today after the city was battered by a violent and deadly storm. Hurricane force winds toppled trees, damaged buildings, knocked out power. Heavy rain also flooded a lot of areas from Texas to the parishes of Louisiana. And we're not through yet. Everything has stormed eastbound. And Jim, I think things are going to get worse before they get better. There's busy water on some roads. There could be trees down on some roads. It could be really tough out there. Strong thunderstorms right now moving into the west coast of Florida, Cedar Key southbound to just north of the Tampa Bay area. And our flash flood warning has been extended here into Mississippi, where we do have rain that's been falling over the same areas for the last couple of hours. It's been utterly nonstop for us into Mississippi. We'll get there in a second. First into Florida. This will make its way to I-75. So if you are traveling north or southbound, near Ocala, Gainesville, Spring Hill, you're about to get hit with this as well. Widening out, showing this line of storms stretching now into Alabama, too. That's where we could see some flooding. Crossing right over 55. Flash flood warnings mean flash flooding is imminent or it's occurring. And this has been ongoing for quite a while here. So if you're in McGee, Mendenhall, Taylorsville, you are located in this flash flood warning. By the way, just south of Meridian and 20, we are seeing the heavy showers too. And we're not finished in Texas. This severe thunderstorm warning has been cranking, and it did have hail coming out of it that was over 2 inches. That can cause some damage just to the south of Beeville. And you see scattered showers north and east of there. We don't need any more weather in Houston. We could get a little bit, but the bulk of the severe weather will be off to the east on I-10. And then tomorrow it shifts more towards that I-95 corridor. But in the southeast, it's going to stay cloudy and wet, Jim, with that severe weather finally tapering off as we head into our Sunday.
You know what, Abrams, I don't want to wish